What's going on, Fight Fam? Amazing card tonight. Shakur Stevenson is the real deal. I told you all earlier in the week this was going to be a complete mismatch. Some people agreed, a lot of people disagreed. A lot of people do not know boxing. They try to say Shakur runs because they don't understand boxing, they don't understand footwork. So for those people that said that, Shakur stood in the pocket and threw with Zepeda and destroyed him in the process, neutralized his offense, blocking most of his shots. Shakur landed 56% of his punches, and he landed the bigger punches on William Zepeda. Once again, a lot of people don't know about boxing. And as Shakur Stevenson promised, he put belt to you know what on William Zepeda. So now we can cut all the talk about Shakur Stevenson is a runner. He's this, he's that. He stepped up in a big fight, fought William Zepeda, and won via a unanimous decision. The fight was not even competitive at all. The scorecards were let's just go over these scorecards for everybody that came in my video leaving crazy comments. 118, 110, 118, 110, 119, 109, all for Stevenson. Clean sweep. Clean sweep. Bring on the winner of Tank versus Lamont Roach to Shakur Stevenson. Because right now we're witnessing Shakur Stevenson in his prime. He stayed in the pocket. He was looking to exchange. He put on a very fan friendly fight. He can fight however he wants to, and he showed that tonight. He showed that on plenty of occasions against Oscar Valdez, against Jamel Herring. You all want him to stand there and trade with a huge punch like Edwin De Los Santos. That is completely stupid. That's like dumb. So, like I said, Shakur Stevenson wiped the floor with William Zepeda. It's a horrible stylistic matchup. Just because you throw a lot of punches does not make you a good boxer. Like, yes, Mexican style was effective against certain type of styles, but at the elite level, we've seen Floyd Mayweather destroy Mexican style for years. Shakur Stevenson has great defense, similar to who? Floyd Mayweather. Great counters. That destroys Mexican style boxing every time. That the people that came in and said that I was racist for picking a black boxer against the Mexican boxer. It has nothing to do with race. It's about understanding the sport, understanding that styles make fights. Just because you throw a lot of volume, if you don't mix it up with angles and stuff like that, you're throwing the same combinations over and over. A guy that has great defense and a high ring IQ is going to pick you apart. Now, kudos to William Zepeda for standing in there and throwing and not getting dropped because he was getting hit with some wicked shots. Some wicked shots. So what's next for Shakur? Well, personally, I want to see Shakur fight the winner of Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. I think a fight between, I mean, I really want to see him and Tank, but in the Tank and Lamont Roach rematch, may the best man win in that. I'll have to really look at that fight and look at the last one to see who I'm picking to win that fight. But let's just say if Shakur Stevenson fights Tank, how does that fight go? Well, you know, it's a Tank is no William Zepeda. Obviously, Tank has power. He's not going to be throwing with a lot of volume, but he's going to be throwing with a lot of power. He's very quick. He's very explosive. Now that fight is going to be a chess match. That is going to be a tough fight for Shakur and a tough fight for Tank Davis. Like there's no doubt about it. That'll be their most difficult fight. But I knew tonight would not be a tough fight for Shakur. He's got a guy that's throwing a lot of punches, doing the same thing over and over. That's easy work for somebody like Shakur because he's able to neutralize a lot of that with his defense. Now, as far as Shakur and Tank, I mean, if that fight were to happen right now, I have my money on Shakur Stevenson. Tank has stuff going on outside of boxing. Obviously, that could be a distraction. Shakur's defense is too good. He's not going to fight Tank like he fought William Zepeda. He's going to stay more on the outside. He's not going to stand in there and trade with Tank because Tank has real power. William Zepeda has volume. There's a difference. So for people that think like, oh well, if he stands in there with Tank, he's going to get knocked out. He won't. He's going to box Tank, but he's also going to hit Tank. He's going to throw shots at Tank. He's not scared to throw. He's going to throw to the body, and then they're going to be in an exchange. But his defense is too good for Tank to knock him out. He's too aware, and he has a chin. There was one point in the fight where he got caught with a right hand from William Zepeda, and he kind of stumbled back into the ropes. I'm not sure what was going on with that, but I don't think he had any respect for William Zepeda's power. He stood in there the whole fight, was banging with him, and he was throwing back like his counters were absolutely disgusting, especially that rear hook. He was lighting him up with that all night. I think Shakur is the best fighter at 135 pounds. Luckily, Turkey is giving us the best fights in boxing right now, contrary to what anybody else has to say or whatever they don't like. We're getting the best fights we want to see right now. That was an amazing card from top to bottom. And then, we are able to end the night seeing Shiraz get a KO on Edgar Berlanga. I mean, kudos to Turkey for putting this card on. And I'm so glad these fights are in New York because I'm able to watch them at a respectable time. I'm in the Eastern time zone. So, who do you all think Shakur should fight next at 135 pounds? And do you all think he is the top dog at 135? I mean, William Zepeda that's no easy feat. And Shakur came out and made that look entirely too easy. I mean, that was easy work. So who could even give Shakur a good fight? And better yet, who do you all have in a fight if Shakur were to fight Tank Davis? Like I'm very curious to hear how you all think that fight goes. Because a lot of people are saying, well, he's gonna run from Zepeda. Zepeda's volume is going to overwhelm him, and that was that was easy work from Shakur. And Zepeda, he's tough, so that's the only reason he lasted all 12 rounds. And I said in my prediction video, I got Shakur by decision because even if he were to drop Zepeda, I don't think Zepeda would stay down. He's a warrior, so he's gonna fight, he's gonna throw, which is all fine and dandy, but the IQ matters and the skill set matters in boxing. Boxing is not just a sock and bop 'em. You don't just stand there and punch and just stand in the middle of the ring. That's not what the sweet science is. Contrary to what a lot of people are believing, that's not what boxing is. But Shakur was like, okay, you all want to see a fan friendly fight? I'm going to stand in here. I'm going to trade with this guy. I'm going to land more power punches on this guy just to prove a point. And he did exactly that. So as of right now, it's another fight I want to see is Raymond Moratia still at 135 pounds? Because I would want to see a fight with him and Shakur, like, because I know coming from that Robert Garcia camp, that would be a good match. But I mean, I still have Shakur smoking him. Like the only competitive fight, let's see, is he still at 135? I believe he is. The only competitive fight I see for Shakur at 135 is Tank Davis. And Tank Davis, you got to make sure his head is on straight. Yeah, Raymond Moratia is at 135. So bring him up next. He can get the smoke. Winner of Lamont Roach and Tank can get the smoke. Now, if Lamont Roach wins a rematch, I would want to see Shakur versus Roach, and I have Shakur winning that. I just think the Shakur we saw tonight, I don't see anybody beating him. Like nobody at 135 pounds. Like that was an amazing performance. He made William Zepeda look like, look like just he was a low level fighter, and William Zepeda is not. William Zepeda is very good, and it was funny seeing Oscar De La Hoya in the crowd. When the fight first started, he's all rah rah, clapping, super excited. Then as those rounds go on, and Shakur just starts beating on his fighter, you just see Oscar De La Hoya just kind of sitting back, just looking with the puppy dog eyes. Same way people were in my comments talking. I'm sure a lot of you all were looking like that. So the people that left those comments on my post, I want you to, like I told you all earlier in the week, come back and revisit the post and let me know your thoughts now, since you had so much to say about me picking a fighter because he was black, which wasn't the case. I'm picking the guy that's better because styles make fights. So I just wanted to make a quick video after the fights. Thank you everyone that joined the live stream. It was completely last minute. I did not plan it. I'll do better at planning the next one. I'll be live streaming fights next weekend. I think the Usyk and Dubois card, and or the Bam Rodriguez card. So I'm going to do that more often. So yeah. Oh, and check my post section because I did post the parlays that I put in for this week that I cashed on. I didn't post the Amanda Serrano one, which was good because that parlay lost. But I didn't post it, so I'm glad I didn't post that. So hopefully nobody. Well, if you lost money on that, sorry. If I would have posted it, you would have lost. But the two that I hit were decent sized parlays that were for plus money. So ended the weekend green. If you want me to continue to share my picks each week, I'll share those in the post section. All right, be sure to like the video, comment, subscribe, share the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.